what all events that I cover. I will try and cover. I have very few coverage of Naga Pratishthan or Naga Consecration, which happened recently in Bangalore, and Banglore Isha is coming way too beautiful and love it. The place is awesome. I don't know how many of you have uh, smelt it. The smell of chandan, it is everywhere. The whole forest. The moment I walked out of the bus, I could smell chandan, and I was like, wow. Uh, well, on that property, on the one side, there is 30 acres. Some private guy holds it, and uh, I went on the top where he's made a, you know, uh, his own. So I went there and tried to sit there because I like to sit on a certain height to see everything around. But I like to have my place lit up, and I don't know, just like to sit on the top of the hill most of the time. So I found this place and I went and sat there. And after a while, they got very old. So he says in his language, the South Indian way, that please don't sit here because this is a private property. Well, that property is 30 acres and it had grapes. So the farming of grapes were done. And once I got up, he started to chat with me, saying, "Where are you from?" I said, "I come from Maharashtra." He said, "Where in Maharashtra?" So I said, "Pune." And then he started telling me that he once worked near the Apollo Theatre for quite a long time, and now he's been handling this farm. And then I asked him what all you're growing. So he said, the grapes are there. It's time now to cut the grapes. And uh, I asked him who it belongs to. So he said it belongs to few doctor family and someone from the bureaucracy, I think so, the bureaucrat. But well, his language, his Hindi was broken. I tried to understand as much as possible. And then I asked him, is there a lot of chandan trees around? Then he looked at me very surprisingly. He's like, "Can you smell it?" I said, the moment I walked in, I smelled it. He says, uh, it's on the corner to the end of this farm. The plantation of chandan is done. And I'm surprised that you smelt it. I said, I'm not surprised because this is such a beautiful, peaceful, and clean place that chandan can't be, missed out. If you're not wearing anything on you, obviously you can smell everything around you. Well, he was so, uh, you know, surprised to understand what all I have, noticed. And he was like, that he wouldn't let me go. He would just, keep talking and talking and talking. Well, to climb that thing, I tore my pajamas. And luckily I was wearing a dhoti, so that came handy. So the event was beautiful. 16,000 odd people, all dressed in white. Uh, but for me, I was just alone there. I learned one thing that I used to do it when I was a kid. I would walk on the street looking down, watching my own feet, because that kept me away from the world to even bother myself with the world around me. And after getting into the practice, I just started going, back into the whole hill is, with wild animals, peacocks, and a lot of feathers around. So, as I was walking towards the hills where big rocks were there, trees were there, not very tall trees. So I would just walk there and try to sit in one of the place to just feel the small lizards and ants move around, and I just keep watch them. Peacock. And then I was like, what to do with that? So uh, I kept it in the very big one. It's small, the small one, beautiful one. So uh, then it was 4 o'clock, and we sat for 3 to 4. We were supposed to do the chanting for Naga Naga Nagendra, and everyone started doing that, and I was sitting and I was doing the same thing. So after 1 hour, the sun was shining bright on my face, 4 o'clock. And then I said, oh, why to break this nice, beautiful peacock feather? Why not just put it right in the hair? So I put it right on top of the hair and just kept it up. So just the little piece was up. And well, when I go to Isha, or when I go to Coimbatore Isha Foundation, or I just try to walk around and people are looking at this, people just wonder. They just look at me. They would call me names, and I would just keep walking. I wouldn't bother myself with the comments. But yeah, they have their own thoughts in the mind to call me names, and I would be like, okay, whatever suits them. So the crowd would keep staring at my face, and I wouldn't like it, so I would be walking like this, and still people would just, those eyes just trying to watch me. And then after putting the peacock feather, what happened was everyone started staring at the top of my head, and I was like, good God, this is good. Because no one was bothered about my face now, and everyone was like looking at the peak of feather. So few even gave me a comment, tried to comment on on the peak of feather, and some compliment, and saying that, oh, you have a peak of feather on your head. I said, thank you, it looks good. I said, oh wow, thank you. Some women were a little nasty. They would try to play around and ask me questions which they didn't want to, but still I would answer them. And uh, what happens at such a big gala event is that you don't wear the tag of volunteer and to be a volunteer. You just be the part and do your course when and where it's needed. And I was doing that. So most people would ask me, are you a volunteer here? I would say, I'm not yet, but I don't know when it will be. But for now, how can I help you with? And that's how it's been. So for past 3 years, whenever I'm traveling to Coimbatore Isha, my travel usually starts from Pune. But once I'm in Coimbatore, the whole journey from the railway station to the Isha, people meet, they ask, and then they follow. They would have questions which will never end. But one of my friend, he came along to see what I do, and he says, how can you answer someone's question for 4 to 5 hours? And he wouldn't stop. I said, it's his curiosity and it's his mind that is making questions such that he would know all the answers. But I really don't have any answers to his questions. It is just I'm also unaware of all these questions, and when he asks me, I'm able to answer. I'm not prepared. It is just when he's asking me, I'm able to answer. I'm doing it effortlessly because I don't know. That's the best thing. Because I don't know, I'm able to answer. Well, it took time for me to understand this part, but now it's really smooth to answer any questions. Well, about life. It's not so difficult because it happens and it's happening, and when you just flow right, it just have all the answers. It's just that you need to be aware of a lot of things around you and not be bothered with it. I see monkeys all on the top of the terrace, top of the building. But they'll be there from morning 7 to 9 because they want to see some sun, soak some sun, and thereafter they're done. They are not worried. They're just happy. They're doing their job. We having intellect, we worry. We bother ourselves with things which we don't need to. So this is how it is, and this is how my small, diary or short videos will be, and talking about the events and how they were. I will talk about more about the Bangalore Naga Pratishtha event because it 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 has more things to talk about, because evening was beautiful and things just happened as it was told, and as if I knew that this is how it's going to be. But it was fun. It is way too overwhelming to be in that process if you really know what is happening. Yeah. So when you become responsible to someone's life, when that someone is putting his life for you, that is something worth, putting yourself to. So, well, I will continue this video later, and I hope there are many who have those beautiful experience of Naga Pratishtha, and many more to come, and ones who had of Yogeshwar Linga or Devi or 999 Dhyanilinga. Nothing like it. But yes, I would like to hear a few comments. Would like to know more. If you have questions, you can ask me, and we can talk. Till then, namaskaram, and see you soon. Thank you.